I think we did like 8,300 one year, like 8,600 the next, but we did like 12 grand the last couple of years, so we kind of made up for it. But yeah, north of $100,000 raised the last decade plus for, cats and dogs, kittens and puppies. Our Humane May fundraiser gets underway tomorrow. Hey, speaking of tomorrow, weekend number 2 of the Jazz Festival, that also gets underway, 11 a.m., day 5 of 8. Halfway through right now. Locals Thursday, too. Advanced tickets, just $50. I think they're $60 at the gate for locals. Cassie Sherm, a WDSU investigative report. Boy, these trailers that the traffic and signal division workers are working under, these Katrina-era trailers, unbelievable. They have to handle 450-plus traffic signals in New Orleans, and they're 3 employees. I'm sure Ed Michel is aware of that. Speaking of his latest report, boy, safety and permits apparently didn't learn much from the Hard Rock Cafe collapse. Hard Rock Hotel collapse, I should say. IG Ed Michel on his latest report. Lots of third-party inspectors over at safety and permits. Severe risk to public safety, according to Ed Michel. Yeah, the IG is on the program next. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Hey, if you're heading to the North Shore, Trey Yen opens their doors in about 45 minutes. You could fire in a to-go order in about 30 minutes. Just tell them you're on the way. Don't forget that Tong Cho sauce, their signature. I mean, homemade, of course, like the, hot mustard, sweet and sour, all made in-house, all fresh. No MSG, not a single speck of MSG in the kitchen at Trey Yen. You won't get that bloated feeling. Just fantastic Chinese cuisine at Trey Yen in Mandeville. Yeah, don't forget the Tong Cho sauce, my favorite. So good on like the chicken wings, the pork, the butterfly shrimp, the ribs, fried rice, combo, pork, shrimp, whatever. So good on so many things and so many Tong Cho dishes like the speckled trout or flounder over at Trey Yen. Yummy, Trey Yen in Mandeville. Wide open Wednesday. Inspector General, City of New Orleans, Ed Michel, joins us next on his latest report.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday.
tray-in.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Uptown, Carrollton, Riverbend, Holly Grove, Gerttown, Gentilly, Lakefront, West Bank, Lakeview. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Thanks for joining us on a wide open Wednesday. Warm and windy out there, like 86 degrees. Might have some rain on possibly tomorrow. A little rain creeping into tomorrow's forecast. It was really Friday and Saturday. Now there's a possibility of rain tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, and maybe not. Sunday's supposed to be really nice, sunny, and only, getting up to like high 70s. But hopefully we don't get rain. We got Jazz Fest weekend number 2. The last thing we need is rain. We want it to be nice. Or maybe we get rain like we did on Sunday. It rained out by my house in Carrollton in that neighborhood, but it didn't rain in Gentilly. A new report from Inspector General Ed Michel on safety and permits. I mean, the macro Corey Johnson opinion, apparently safety and permits didn't learn much from the Hard Rock Hotel collapse. Seriously, years later, still the same shenanigans. Ed Michel, Office of Inspector General, City of New Orleans, joins us live on the program again. Good afternoon, Ed.
Hey, Corey. How are you?
Doing well. Yourself?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for joining us again. And congratulations on the new 4-year contract renewal from the ethics crew.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yep. I was worried that you may not want another 4 years, to be honest. And the reason, Ed, I've never talked to you about it, but just Bob Sarasoli was older and he had health issues when he came in. That job literally almost killed Bob Sarasoli, just stressed him out to retirement, literally back to the university up in Boston and teaching. You're relentless, man. I mean, the percentage of increase from year to year, especially from Do Nothing Derry Harper, the previous IG, and just the staff you've put together, the reports that you've put out. Not worry about burnout, man. You guys grind over there at that Office of Inspector General.
Yeah, well, looking back at my past experience, I was the former special assistant to the assistant director. I was the Joint Terrorism Task Force commander. I was the assistant special agent in charge. I did a brief stint as a presidential daily briefer. This job, you need all kinds of experience to be able to appropriately mitigate. The city has a budget of over $1 billion a year, and we have over $9 billion in assets. And when you're managing, auditors, evaluators, and leading and guiding and directing investigators, it's a pretty involved job. It takes a lot of energy to successfully do this job every day.
And I think I've told you before, the dysfunction in the city of New Orleans keeps us both employed. We also have similar positions in a way. And it's not by choice. People can choose to go the other way, which I think is the wrong way. I pretty much have autonomy here. I direct, produce my own show. I say what I want. I do the research. I feel my opinion's pretty righteous. And, I don't befriend the big shots. I don't hang out with the politicians. How do you do that as IG? There's been previous IGs, one I just mentioned, that befriended the politicians. How do you stay apolitical? How do you not forge friendships when I'm sure you're probably approached from the very people that you need to do audits, reports, and, investigations on? How do you stay neutral?
Well, for me, Corey, it's pretty easy. We just follow the facts. And we have a very stringent guidelines on how we write our reports. A lot of the work we do, especially our audits, comply with the GAO standards. So, and that's why I think we've been able to be so successful, is because if you look at the reports that we write that are conducted by CPAs, JDs, people with PhDs, everyone here is either a certified inspector general auditor, evaluator, or an investigator. I myself have the designation of a CIG. So we stick to the facts, and we verify the facts over and over and over again, to where it's very well solidified that what we're writing actually happened, and it's backed up with numerous instances, which are all fact-based. So we just stick to the facts, and I don't get involved with personal relationships. I remain personal, and I am a personable individual, but I keep it professional. And if someone is using their position publicly to benefit themselves personally, then they're going to be held accountable, and we're going to write a report and hold them accountable for their actions.
How many employees at the Office of Inspector General in New Orleans, Ed?
We're up to about 28 now.
Wow. Latest report on safety and permits. What's the biggest part of it besides the general dysfunction? Would it be lots of third-party inspectors being used more times than not? A third-party inspector, it seems like, boy, we just got in a jam, got to sub out some of this for a very limited time. In New Orleans, it's 70% of the time. They're doing the bulk of the work, these third-party inspectors, coupled with doing some shoddy work, right?
Sure. So if you look at it, the purpose of this audit was, primarily to focus on third-party inspectors. But before I do that, I just kind of wanted to mention that we did do an audit in 2022 of safety and permits, and at that audit, we discovered that the city inspectors did not perform in-person inspections for about 20% of the audits that we tested. And we also determined that city inspectors did not spend an adequate amount of time conducting the inspections once they got there, because we determined that they spent 10 minutes or less at each inspection site for about 40% of the inspections that we did test. So it's important to note that city inspectors have GPS in their vehicles. Yep. So we can confirm that they actually arrived at the site, Corey, and how long that they were at the inspection site, whereas third-party investigators may have GPS in their vehicles. They may not have GPS in their vehicles. If they do have GPS, safety and permits doesn't have access to this information. So, our objective was to verify that third-party inspectors were actually showing up and actually doing their job, and that Safety and Permits implemented adequate policies and procedures for third-party inspectors so that they can actually do their job well. Previous reviews by us have documented that Safety and Permits have just simply struggled to hire and retain well-qualified inspectors, which leads us to this report regarding third-party inspections. And I think if you look at the numbers, the numbers don't lie. There were about 28,000 inspections in 2022, and city inspectors conducted about 8,000 of those inspections, which was about 31%. But third-party inspectors conducted about 19,000 inspections, which was a little over 68% of the total inspections in Orleans Parish for 2022.
That's amazing. The problem also, besides these third-party inspectors, you mentioned the city not really having any kind of mechanism in place to follow them, be it GPS in their vehicle, or really if they went to the site, if they spent enough time there, if they went through all the procedures required. Something basic like photographs apparently did not exist from what you guys are saying. And the City Department of Safety and Permits pretty much green-lighted every single third-party inspector's reports, right?
So, yeah, and I can get into those numbers, but, I want to mention one thing, before I do. When Safety and Permits approves these improperly performed inspections, this could lead to catastrophic and deadly situations, as well as significant litigation against the city. It's imperative that Safety and Permits ensures that third-party inspectors perform their inspections in compliance with Safety and Permits policies, and to ensure that these buildings and the work performed comply with the codes and approved plans, because any defect or hazardous or illegal condition in the work could result in building collapse, injury, or death, or damage to property. And Corey, that's going to affect our city, our citizens, and our many visitors.
I'm kind of shocked, Ed, that that's still the case with the Hard Rock Hotel collapse and the problem Safety and Permits had back then. It's amazing that it wasn't totally corrected after that. I mean, what has to happen to get this corrected? It's mind-blowing.
Well, I agree. It's something that needs to be fixed. Our first finding revealed that Safety and Permits had not hired a full-time compliance officer, as they had committed to doing so to resolve the findings of the previous audits conducted by us. And the compliance officer here is actually the individual that's responsible for quality reviews of inspections performed not only by third-party inspectors, but by city inspectors as well. So a compliance officer can lead efforts to prevent, detect, and mitigate the risk that are associated with these types of inspections. And then, during this audit,
hold on one second, Ed. I'm going to knock out a quick break. I want to hear the secondary findings as well, besides the no compliance officer. Ed Michel's with us, Office of Inspector General, City of New Orleans. We're coming right back. More with Ed Michel.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here delivering Louisiana's future. At the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
As New Orleans as the mighty Mississippi, Corey Johnson.
The old miss, the old man.
On 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Deep River, my home is over Jordan.
Hey, you want to get a little taste of Jazz Fest early? Why don't you head to Katie's tonight in Mid-City, Iberville, corner Talamacus, outdoor dining. It's going to cool down a little bit after 7. Last night I was walking the dog. It was fantastic weather, cool, breezy, nice. Yeah, more is better, more of the good things at Katie's in Mid-City, a real taste of New Orleans. Ed Michel's with us, Inspector General, City of New Orleans. Ed, you were talking about no compliance officer, and then you were going into some secondary findings.
Yeah, so we determined that third-party inspectors did not submit inspection reports for about 44% of the inspections tested, and they didn't consistently submit the required photographic documentation 100% of the time. So let's talk about why it's important that they take these photographs. First off, the exterior address of the inspection site needs to be photoed, and a photograph of the inspector at the inspection site along with the inspector's credentials need to also be recorded. So this photographic documentation is necessary, Corey, because it confirms that the inspector conducted an adequate inspection of the permitted work as well as to confirm that they were actually present at the site. And like I said, in 100% of the audits that we tested, we didn't find any of this documentation in the files themselves.
That's unbelievable. So obviously, these third-party people ignored that initiative, or were never told to do it, or if they were told, there was never any follow-up from safety and permits, apparently, to make sure they did that. It was more than that, though, right?
Yes.
None of the safety checklists that your previous report from 2022 was followed up on, right?
So we also discovered that they did not implement an inspection checklist for the city as well as third-party inspectors. And we specifically found that third-party inspectors did not submit inspection checklists for, again, 100% of the inspections tested. In 2021, the city's Office of Performance and Accountability completed an audit of safety and permits, and they recommended a checklist. We conducted a subsequent audit in 2022, and we also suggested that they conduct and originate an audit. And let's talk about why these audits and these checklists are important. Safety and permits required this checklist per their own policy, but they never actually created a checklist to provide to third-party inspectors, at least not until very recently. And the reason why these are so important is because they can be used to record and provide specific data on the building, as well as deficiencies associated with the building. So as a result of the delay in the creation of this checklist, the OIG can project with some certainty that third-party inspectors didn't submit the required inspection checklist for more than 16,000 inspections in 2022.
Inspector General Ed Michel is with us on his latest report about safety and permits. What are your recommendations to solve all these problems? And are we missing any problems? Were there more things?
Well, yeah. So we had a couple of other things. We also discovered that safety and permits approved inspections that were submitted by third-party inspectors who had expired licenses. So, and let's talk about why the licenses aren't important. These licenses provide proof of inspector certifications, which actually validates their experience to perform these functions. In this case, several inspections were approved by safety and permits for inspectors who did not have an active license. And an inspector who doesn't have an active license, Corey, means that they are actually not qualified to perform these critical inspections of our homes and our businesses. And we also found that safety and permits consistently didn't hold quarterly meetings with these third-party inspectors, which means there was a void in leadership guidance and direction concerning the best practices regarding the process of conducting building inspections. So we had several findings, all of which, by the way, safety and permits has agreed to implement our findings as soon as practical.
Yeah, I want to talk about that in a second. Your report said, without urgent reforms to oversight, documentation, licensing, and selection processes, it's like everything they do, the city's reliance on third-party inspectors poses severe risk to public safety and legal liability.
That sums it up. Yeah.
You mentioned recommendations. Safety and Permits Director Tammy Jackson, she appears to be on board with all this. She, from what I can tell, didn't take offense. It wasn't like Sheriff Susan Hudson's reaction to your report on the sheriff's department. Am I wrong? But by Tammy Jackson's reaction, it seemed like she sort of embraced what you were saying and wants to implement what you were talking about implementing. Is that right?
Yes. Like you were mentioning, the sheriff just did not want to take responsibility for her misactions But in this case, Tammy Jackson accepted responsibility, and she is actually working with us to implement these recommendations, which will ensure efficient and effective inspections occur at safety and permits. You know, we would rather identify and mitigate fraud, waste, and abuse through education and awareness any day of the week. And if people are willing to just follow our GPS turn-by-turn directions that we give them to correct the deficiencies that they have, we're more than willing and happy to work with them to achieve the efficient and effective levels, and so that they can provide these services to the citizens of New Orleans. Our first recommendation was that safety and permits should create a full-time compliance officer position, like I said before, whose primary duties would be to perform quality reviews of inspections. They wanted to hire this person back in the first quarter of 2023. However, they were unable to hire that person until very recently, and I think they hired this person on March 17th. So it's about 2 years later, but this is a new compliance officer that's going to be able to review and perform building, electrical, as well as mechanical inspections. So we have some hope now that there will be somebody there to identify and mitigate these risks during the inspection process. So we now have some hope that this is actually going to be done the correct way. We also suggested, and this is really important, Corey, that the city modify the city code to place safety in permits in charge of receiving and randomly assigning requests for third-party inspectors. The absence of a random selection process for third-party inspectors actually increases the opportunity for contractors to select third-party inspectors who may be willing to approve subpar building repairs in exchange for additional monetary consideration.
It's amazing. I mentioned the Hard Rock Hotel collapse. They had a sweeping corruption investigation that led to 12 city inspectors being fired or resigning under suspension, 4 third-party inspectors getting their licenses revoked, the indictment of Randy Farrell. I hope you're right that they take this and run with it. Tammy Jackson takes the suggestions and runs with it, because there was something in your report about not checking the pressure on gas pipes. You know, so somebody could install brand new gas pipes. The pressure's not checked. They're not installed properly. And you could have a catastrophic explosion at a residential building or a commercial building, like a kitchen or restaurant or something, bar room. So it goes on and on. The danger's there, obviously.
Yeah. So, our mission is to, identify and mitigate fraud, waste, and abuse. And so since 2013, the Office of Inspector General has initiated close to 19 permitting and inspection investigations at the New Orleans Department of Safety and Permits. These investigations led to significant actions taken against city employees as well as third-party inspectors. We had 12 safety and permit employees who were either fired or resigned under investigation, and 3 third-party inspectors who were completely or partially banned from doing business.
Yep.
And like I said before, we'd much rather identify and mitigate fraud, waste, and abuse through education and awareness, which is why I took the unprecedented step of actually signing OIG embedded investigators and evaluators at safety and permits to address these systemic issues that allow for this fraud, waste, and abuse to occur for so long.
That's brilliant. Embedded in the safety and permits office. Smart. Hey, Ed, how can the public check out your latest report or any of the reports at the Office of Inspector General website?
So they can follow us online. We have an amazing, informative website at www.nolaoig.gov. We can't do our job as successful as we can unless the citizens provide tips to us. People can provide us tips on fraud, waste, abuse, and corruption to our hotline, and they can also do so anonymously. They can also follow us if your followers are on X and Facebook and Instagram. We're on all of those under the moniker NOLA.oig.gov. So follow us. We release our reports immediately.
NOLA, OIG.gov is the website. NOLA, OIG.gov. Ed Michel, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Corey. I appreciate it.
That's Ed Michel, Office of Inspector General, City of New Orleans. I appreciate it. NOLAOIG.gov. Check out the report and all those reports from his office online right now. That's what they're there for. He's a watchdog for us. Coming right back.
Same old glasses that everyone else is wearing. Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, stuff.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Who is that, Dean Warmer?
Not
Fat,
sure.
drunk, and stupid's no way to go through life. Animal House. That's good stuff. You've seen that, Mario Brothers,
Yes.
a.k.a. Latinx?
Legendary.
Now you're 30 years old. Like, is that an old movie to you?
It's old, but it's one of those movies that like lives on, like Breakfast Club or something.
What's Godfather to you? Just like ancient
Oh yeah, and long.
and long, yeah.
I mean, it's an okay movie.
It's okay.
In my opinion.
I guess it's okay. That's great. I guess The Godfather is, I guess, the Maltese Falcon for me or something like that. Wow, it's crazy when you think about things that way. Anyway, Mario X, a.k.a. Mario Brothers, I should say, a.k.a. Latinx, says The Godfather's okay, but it's a little long. I think Francis Ford Coppola just got some Lifetime award. And I think Godfather's either the greatest movie of all time. That's what, like, Spielberg says. But Citizen Kane might be number one and Godfather's number two. So the movie you said it's okay. It's got some pretty good ratings.
Yeah, people love Citizen Kane too.
Now, I know this. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx's favorite movie is Dude, Where Did I Leave My Car? He thinks that was just incredible cinematography and great acting that tops The Godfather.
It's just, dude, where's my car? The way he said it was funny.
Where I leave my
like
car.
so proper.
Wow. Got to get it right. Sorry.
That's like the British version.
766-9480 is the phone number. Hey, I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away just in time, guys. 1 week from this Sunday. Enjoy Jazz Fest. Get your funk on. But a week from this Sunday is Mother's Day, so you better get your funk on correctly for mom. Might be your wife, your sister, your mother, your aunt, any female in your life that's a mother. You need to take care of them. Go to the Woodhouse Day Spa. That's how you take care of them. Getting them something they want. WoodhouseSpas.com's the website. WoodhouseSpas.com. You can print your own gift certificate. Book an appointment for her at any of the 5 locations: Mid-City, New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner, Mandeville, Slidell, Baton Rouge. There's a Woodhouse near you. Yeah, Mother's Day, a week from this Sunday. Don't blow it, guys. Hey, on this day, 213 years ago, why is it significant to us? On this day, 213 years ago, why is it significant to us? 766-9480 is the phone number. 766-9480. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you from the Woodhouse. Mario Brothers, we did not have any luck yesterday. The Circle, Grocery Circle Foods trivia still out there. St. Bernard and Claiborne, that grocery store, why is it known as Circle Grocery? And the tallest hill in New Orleans. Tallest hill in New Orleans. I've got 50 big bucks for you just in time for a week from Sunday's Mother's Day. The way you participate in the program, the way you can answer one of the 3 questions, 766-9480. 766-9480 on this day, 213 years ago. Why is it significant to us? Why is it Circle Grocery? Yeah, Brenda and Jimmy Circle. The Circle family started in 1920. The building has a curved shape. Tallest hill in New Orleans. 766-9480. 766-9480. Let's hit those phone lines. Speaking of hitting, I'm going to hit Art and Eyes on Magazine this week with my mommy. And we're probably, I don't know. I might grab something that's on display, but what I love about Art and Eyes, they've got this basket up by the counter with about 100 frames in there, like literally maybe 150 pairs of frames. They're all high-end frames. They range in price from like $300 to like $1,200 for these frames, and they're all free. The frames are free. All you pay for is the prescription lenses for those frames. Pay for the prescription lenses. The frames are free out of that basket. And the counter under the basket, all those frames are like 50% off. No, they're great deals at Art and Eyes, an eyewear that's as unique as you at Art and Eyes on Magazine. Just Google them. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Let's hit the phone lines. 766-9480. Joe joins us on the program. What you know, Joe?
Hey, Corey.
How are you, man?
Monkey, the hill I'm calling about.
Yep.
Would that be Monkey Hill?
That's a bar on Magazine Street and Webster.
Yeah, you can get high there.
I guess you can on alcoholic beverages, and you can get high on Monkey Hill in Audubon Park, which I think
That's the one.
I think that hill sits at about 26 feet, which is about a foot or two shorter than the tallest hill in New Orleans. So, Joe, hang on, don't go anywhere. But real quick, I got to tell you, you're incorrect on that one.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Who was going to get the gift card if you were correct, Joe?
Oh, to my wife.
Nice. I like that. Joe, why don't you hang on? I'm going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for your wife, all right?
Oh, man, that's cool.
I like your answer, Monkey Hill. I think that would have been my answer, but incorrect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you wrong. Hang on, all right, Joe?
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Timothy, I'm going to try to sneak in here under Blue Boy's barking. What's up, Timothy? Go ahead, Timothy. Uh-oh. Hey, Timothy, I'm going to have to pick you up on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere, Timothy. You're up next. Joe, hold on. Latinx, a.k.a. Mario Bros, is going to get some info from you, and we're going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. The program continues on this wide open Wednesday, 5 o'clock power hour. Next.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance, keep you cool.
Ford F-150, number one seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you, right? Corey Johnson back at you on a wide open Wednesday. The 5 o'clock power hour is now. Thanks so much for joining us. I got a full slate. I'm going to reset in a second, but Timothy's been hanging on, so I want to take care of him. You can dial us up. It is New Orleans, Drew Brees. 766-9480 is the phone number, the magic number. 766-9480. Timothy, thank you for hanging on. You're on the neutral ground. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man? This is the first time I really heard this station, and I heard that question. And funny thing is, my grandfather was in New Orleans as a child in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. You know the dungeon?
Yeah, the dungeon bar you're talking about on like Iberville?
738 Toulouse Street.
Oh, it's on Toulouse. Okay. Toulouse?
Yeah, it used to be Nero's Nook. Now it's the dungeon, but he passed away and I'm renovating his house. Long story short, I'm finding all of his just treasures from the 30s, 40s, 50s, Mardi Gras, everything.
Nice.
But we used to talk about the war of, the Battle of 1812, the war in New Orleans.
Yeah, the Battle of New Orleans, yep.
Yeah, because, when they call it the French Quarter, have you ever heard, it's really not, it's Spanish architect, like Spanish with Caribbean influence, and it's called the French Quarter,
Well, French founded it, and you've had fires, then the Spanish rebuilt. Yeah. And they were in, the first 40 years it was French. The next 40 it was Spanish. And then it went back to French for a month or two. And then the Napoleon sold it. Louisiana purchased that gimmick.
Yeah, I got a Napoleon poster, like a sketch.
So
my grandfather had.
So 213 years ago today, you're saying the Battle of New Orleans.
Yes, sir. The War of 1812.
The War of 1812. That is incorrect.
Incorrect.
Yeah, the Battle of New Orleans, the War of 1812, in New Orleans at least, I think it was, Mario Brothers going to have to check on this. I think it was December of 1814 to January of 1815, if I'm not mistaken.
To February. Yeah, right.
To February,
February
of 1815.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a month long, basically, from 1814, 1815, right?
Right.
All right. So, yeah.
Man,
so
now you got me thinking.
Yeah. So that was about 210 years ago. And that would have been 200. That's 210 years ago this December.
Yes, sir. Hey, I was close.
Yeah, you were very close. Hey, Timothy, who would get that gift card if you were to receive it, if you would have won?
Man, it'd be me because I just started back work and I had quit work 4 or 5 months ago, and I've been renovating my grandfather's house, and I'm going through all of his stuff. And I'm like first getting to meet him. You know, he was in the Navy right after World War II.
Yep.
I have like World War II medals from the president. You know, his older brother Frank Gattuso was a fighter pilot.
Wow.
Right when we joined at the end of World War II, and actually has a medal for a combat. You know, and he was an air fight pilot. But I'm just hearing this. My father, nobody's ever told me about this, you know?
That's incredible, man. You got a little treasure trove over there of history.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But now I just started back work last week, and I'm on my commute now, you know?
Yep. Well, Timothy, you are incorrect, but you wrong. But I'm going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate anyway. Congratulations on the new gig. And I know that's a lot of work renovating Grandpa's old house. And your body's probably aching. You need a full body massage at the Woodhouse.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even hear. That's what it is? I thought you said $50 card. But spa?
Yeah, it's a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. There you go. Yeah, tighten up mom. Mother's Day is a week. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what did you think you were winning, Timothy? Just $50?
I just wanted to, when I heard that, and my grandfather, we talked about it, I didn't know, you know, I was thinking more of like, but, you know, I was just calling to try to answer, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Timothy, hang on, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, nice talking to you too, man. Glad you found the program. Spread the word. Timothy's picking up 50 big bucks, Mario. So that thing says February of 1815 that you looked it up?
Yes.
I think that's incorrect. I think it was just December to January.
That might have been Wikipedia, honestly. So that would explain that.
Yeah, but I didn't think it lasted all that long. 766-9480. Battle of New Orleans is incorrect. War of 1812. You go back, he's pretty good though, Timothy, because 213 years ago was 1812. So Battle of New Orleans, Battle of 1812, taking on the British and Chalmette, all of that. That makes sense. Got to give Timothy credit.
Yep.
But it was 3 years into the war when the British invaded New Orleans. And Andrew Jackson and Tennessee riflemen, Kentucky riflemen, and free men of color, even some slaves, I think, participated. Who else? Your boy Jean Lafitte, and some pirates.
Purple drink.
And the British and the French, they were used to, you know, even America, the Revolutionary War. You'd have this band leading with the flags. You'd have generals on horses, and then you'd have the troops behind them, and the troops would pass the generals, and they'd fight. And it was very organized, like stand up and fire. Then the next group would fire. It was like sort of like civilized warfare. In New Orleans, we're like, wait, the British are invading our country. Forget about civilized warfare. So the British are, you know, generals, admirals up front. I mean, you have Packingham Street. I forgot the general's name. Down in Chalmette, you got Packingham and the other general's name. Packingham was the admiral, I think, the general. Those were the first people shot and killed. And then they're just mowing down everybody. Like they're in trenches. They're behind, you know, hay bales. They built little ridges, almost like what I guess would back then would be like guerrilla warfare. But the British were like lined up and got slaughtered. I think I remember my teacher at LSU, who used to play like recordings on a cassette player through the microphone of like, battle scenes and things like that to give you an idea, all this remade stuff to give you an idea. I think what he taught us was like 2,100 British, like over 2,000 British. Good. You can verify it for us, Mario. And it was like the numbers change, but what I learned was 11 on the New Orleans side, on the U.S. side, 11 killed and 2,000 British, just a slaughter. And the British, retreated and got the hell out of Dodge. But I want to say, was it the Treaty of Ghent, I think, was the contract, if I'm not mistaken, that was already signed like 2 weeks earlier, where the War of 1812 was done. So the War of 1812 was over. There's no telegraph lines or any of that. It's across the ocean. The message didn't get out for a while, but I think the war was officially over when that battle was fought. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. 766-9480 is the phone number. 766-9480. Any numbers on the casualties, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx?
Yes, 15,000 total deaths estimated.
Wait, in the whole war?
Yes.
Yeah, but Battle of New Orleans, I mean.
Oh, my bad. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah. Battle of New Orleans, I think it was like 2,000 British and 11 on the U.S. side. And the numbers have varied. I've seen like as many as like 100 on the U.S. side and 1,500 on the British. What's your little site saying?
It says over 2,000 casualties for the British and 71 casualties for Americans.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a slaughter. But Americans were hiding behind stuff and the British were marching in lines, just getting mowed down. It's like they probably were like, you guys broke the rules. I'm like, you're invading our country, you're invading our city. We're not breaking any rules. There are no rules. It's like, rules? Really? You telling me they're rules? If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed Inspector General Ed Michel, his latest report on safety and permits. It wasn't pretty. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. 766-9480. 766-9480. Timothy just picked up 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. You can too. On this day, 213 years ago today. Why is it significant to us? Timothy was close with the Battle of New Orleans, 766-9480, at least time-wise. Why is it Circle Grocery on St. Bernard and Claiborne? Why the name Circle Grocery? And the tallest hill in New Orleans, Monkey Hill, is out of the equation. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 5 o'clock power hour. A lot more news, including Cheech and Chong in town at Rouse's. Coming right back.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Not an FM disc jockey, not a former politician, Corey Johnson.
You're not the DJ. You're a raconteur. You're a storyteller. You're a griot.
It's true. Wow, it is. Thanks for joining us. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. A significant day for all of us in New Orleans, in Louisiana, 213 years ago. 213 years ago today. Why so significant? Give me the answer to that. I've got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. 766-9480 is the phone number. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. You got the answer. I got 50 big bucks for the Woodhouse for you. Hey, Circle Grocery on St. Bernard and Claiborne. Why is it known as Circle Grocery? Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse can be yours. Tallest hill in New Orleans, 766-9480. You got the answer to any of those questions? 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse can be yours. A week from this Sunday, guys, Mother's Day. Take care of mom. A week from this Sunday, Mother's Day. Warm and windy, about 85 degrees right now in the metro. Rain forecast for tomorrow. Rain forecast for Friday and Saturday. We'll see. We'll see. I'll bet you this. At least in Gentilly at the fairgrounds, it doesn't rain tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, all 3 days. I guarantee you that it will not rain at least one of those 3 days. And I don't know why I'm saying I guarantee you. What are you getting out of that for me? Hey, Corey, it did rain all 3 days. You owe me $8. I mean, I guarantee you that's so silly. It's like this company in town. They have their motto's fixed right or it's free. Oh, wow. Fixed right or it's free. So if you don't fix it right, I don't have to pay you. Wow, imagine that. It's like the no fee guarantee from Dudley DeBosier. But what is that song? What's the tune, Mario Brothers? Yeah, what is that all about?
Their phone number is 444-4444.
And
that's funny. We used to do a read in Spanish on the LSU football.
No. So what's
broadcast.
the gist of the?
It's like their phone number is all fours. It's 444.
And what's that got to do with the theme song you just said?
Throw your fours up. Throw your fours up.
That's what that's saying?
Yes.
At the end?
As in throw your fours up for the phone number 444.
That
4444.
That
yes.
That's throw your fours up.
Throw your fours up.
I thought it was like some kind of Dudley DeBo, and then just like not saying the full name and something 2025 with the kids.
Nope, it's just a play on words for the phone number, which they probably paid a lot of money to get. I mean, it's all fours. Like
now, someone told me unless you're wearing your pants, the waist part of your pants in between your butt cheeks and your knees, you wouldn't understand what that meant. Please don't stand up and turn around, Mario Brothers Latinx. Don't want to see the boxer shorts. I swear I thought it was like Dudley DeBosier, just some kind of like trying to be hip or something.
Nope.
It's literally put your fours up.
Yep, throw your fours up. Yep.
Wow, that's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I swear I had no clue. And what's the fours up like? Fourth quarter, we're kind of riding, piggybacking that.
Yeah, I think that's
coupled with the phone number, obviously.
Yes, double.
I wouldn't be saying if it wasn't the phone number.
Yes.
Wow.
They do.
Throw up is what it should be. Take the four part out. Throw up. It's Dudley DeBosier. They're taking a few pennies, a few dollars out of every Louisianian's pocket. These advertising attorneys are obnoxious. And those guys, I mean, from what I understand, it's those two guys and the third guy you see in the commercial every now and then, Peltier or something. Then supposedly there's a fourth guy who isn't a lawyer who went to them and said, guys, we're going to make y'all the TV attorneys statewide. I'm going to pay for all of it. I get 25% of everything that you produce. So from what I understand, there's an investor, a money guy that funded Dudley DeBosier. So it's Dudley, DeBosier, those two meatheads you see. Those two chump-looking guys, like the last people you want representing you if you're in trouble. If you have a legitimate injury, don't go to Dudley DeBosier. And then that third dude, Peltier, is one of the lawyers. He's just, I guess he didn't want to be on the commercials in the beginning. I have no idea. Dudley DeBosier was what they were selling. They didn't want to put a third person to make it confusing. But then you look at the small prints, Dudley DeBosier, Peltier. So I'm assuming that dude's Peltier. And he's like, I want to be known. I just don't want 25% of the money. And then there's an investor guy, the money guy, that now is received all his money back. And now he's just getting a check for the rest of his life for 25%. That's what I understand how that went down. So, those guys wouldn't know where the courtroom's located. They're not passionate about the law. They probably went to the University of, Troy or something down in the Virgin Islands. It was an 18-month, law degree, something. Oh, man, the advertising lawyers are a trip. Boris Mart. I've done $1 billion in claims. That means he's pulled in 350 to 400 million himself. That video, it's on my Twitter at Corey Johnson. Did you see the video, Mario Brothers, of the cop pulling over like an F-150 or a Silverado? Mm-hmm. And the video starts from the dash cam of the cop. It's that video from the cop. The cop's at the window of the truck, talking to the driver, getting license, insurance, writing him a ticket. I have no idea. All of a sudden, you see the police cruiser, moving a little bit, like it's creeping up on the truck, like moving like 2 inches, at a second, just barely moving. And it taps the back bumper of the truck. And the cop's like, wow. And he looks back and he runs, puts his truck in park. SUV, like an Explorer or something like that. He obviously left it in drive.
Oh, no.
And it must have been sitting up against like a piece of wood, a stick, a rock, whatever, on the road. He thought it was in park. He got out. And the truck's, his SUV, the cop cruiser, just sitting there. And he's talking. And all of a sudden, you see it moving a little. It taps the bumper. That person hired Morris Bart. Morris Bart wants $1.5 million for the injury that driver sustained. $1.5 million. If you watch the video, you might throw up. If you have any ethics, morals, or integrity, it is disturbing. If you're a deviant, you'll chuckle and go, good for Morris Bart. But it is exactly why these advertising attorneys are full of you-know-what. Someone's going to take it. Who am I to say they're lying or not? The claims that these advertising attorneys that they take on, a lot of them are exaggerated, embellished, if not outright lies, like this one. The video you'll see, it is nauseating. 1.5 million. Morris Bart would take 600 grand of the 1.5 million. 600 grand. No, these advertisements, billboard, radio, television, the bombardment of them, it encourages people to sue. It encourages people to sue. And there was a great point that who was it? I guess Tim Temple made, the insurance commissioner, who I had him on last week. Besides the basic premise that I've always said, it encourages you to sue, it tells you you need an attorney if you got in an injury. If you're in a wreck and it's an injury, to deal with your insurance company, you need an attorney. It's sending that message out. When all of us have dealt with insurance companies, the majority of us, and the clear majority of us never hired an attorney. You dealt with the insurance company yourself. And for me, at least, 99% of the time I was satisfied with the claim I received. I can't think of when I wasn't. Have I had to go back a few times? Yes. I've been lowballed by the insurance company. $3,000. No, the wrecks cost at least $5,500. Okay, $5,500. Great. And now that I got it inspected, there's damage under here. Here it's verified. Okay, $6,500. Boy, you're going to give me $3,000. I would have walked with that and not got my car fixed right. So no, you may have to. They're trying to keep it as low as possible, but those commercials encourage you to sue and says you need an attorney if you are dealing with an insurance company. It implies that indirectly, and it's all BS. This needs to be neutered, spayed. These idiots need to go away. They're not lawyers. They're insurance company facilitators. A lot of the people they represent don't know any better. They don't have friends that are attorneys or call people. They're seeing the television ad. A lot of these people are like, I got to get mine. So they're going to exaggerate, embellish, or outright lie, like I said. If you watch this video, it is sickening. And it just yells Morris Bart and people like him, these attorneys, have no integrity, no ethics, no morals, no compass, and their conscience it has disappeared. A long, long time ago, they said, I'm going to go down this deviant route and pull these BS claims, these exaggerated, embellished claims at the least, if not outright lies. And I'm going to advertise and I'm going to make a lot of money. $1 billion. Where do you think that money comes from? Louisiana residents. We've all made all of these advertising attorneys, from Dudley to Bossier to Womack to Don't Accept a Check Till You Check With Me, Morris Bart, all of them rich to wealthy. And they're not really lawyers. And a lot of the stuff they do is BS, exaggerated or embellished. That's sickening to me. That's just wrong. You want justice. These folks aren't delivering. It's the opposite. They're taking a few pennies, a few dollars from each and every one of us in Louisiana every day. Every day. I mean, I've said this before. Had a guy running the controls of my show out of Utah. His insurance was $80 a month. He moved to New Orleans, $280 a month. From $80 to $280, same vehicle. Friend of mine has a house in Birmingham. His SUV in New Orleans, $3,400 a year. Registering it at Birmingham, Alabama, $1,100 for the year. $2,300 yet less a year. It's insane. $200 more a month you pay for insurance because you're in New Orleans. No, a lot of it has to do with these BS advertising injury attorneys. Nauseating. Coming right back.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Prepared with experience, depth, knowledge, and a history in the game. Corey Johnson.
Years later, a doctor will tell me that I have an IQ of 48.
I am the smartest man alive!
Wow, IQ of 48. Interesting. It's crazy, Mario Brothers. The Rouse is on Carrollton by Bienville. There's smoke pouring out of the place, but customers are just walking out smiling, and they're eating cake and cupcakes and boxes of fudge, and no one's rushed. It doesn't seem like they're affected by the smoke, and there's no firemen in there or anything, but Cheech and Chong are in there, so maybe you can figure out where the smoke's coming from. Cheech and Chong were, I believe, at the Rouses on Carrollton. They definitely were. Earlier today, I think they were there till about 4:30, about an hour, a little over an hour ago, for a few hours, promoting, I think, a CBD product and that they have their names on, and a movie or something. but Cheech and Chong were at the Rouse's on Carrollton earlier today, and supposedly the line was around the block. I'm sure 46826. Some local news will have that story. I'm on Carrollton, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, and I literally thought this dude's car was on fire. Like just this massive amount of smoke came out of his car, like a tremendous amount. And then the light turns green, he drives off. I think I'm gonna pull on the side, and there's flames gonna be coming out his AC vents or something. So I pull on the side as I'm passing, I look over. He's got basically like this box that's like bigger than a remote control, like an iPhone triple stacked, like 3 iPhones thick, 4 iPhones thick, but about the size of an iPhone. And on the ends, this big like nipple thing that he's just sucking like crazy. He put the thing up against his mouth and he's drawing into this thing, for 10 seconds. And then I'm just looking at this guy and then I'm like, okay, exhale. And then, and just this cloud comes out of like a 2-inch crack in his window. You have one window cracked in your car. It like sucks out. Literally like his car's on fire. I'm like, that vaping amount, that can't be healthy. I mean, it was a tremendous amount. I say smoke, a vape, whatever you want to call it. It was insane. I literally thought the car was on fire. That was Rouse's earlier today on Carrollton when Cheech and Chong were visiting. Everyone got high. All the snacks, the shelves are, it looks like a Walgreens. The shelves are cleared. You ever go into Walgreens, Mario X Latinx?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, besides having to call someone to get the plastic thing unlocked to get your deodorant or toothbrush or something,
yes,
the shelves are like half full.
Mm-hmm.
There's something not good going on at your local Walgreens.
You always have to get someone to unlock the bathroom too.
Yeah, that the amount of sales lost because of that.
Yes,
it's tremendous. It's crushing Walgreens.
I don't get it. They're not the only place that sells stuff that has bathrooms. Like I never understood that philosophy.
Oh, what you mean? People go to the bathroom and load it into their pants or whatever?
Yeah, no, yeah, and you have to get an employee to open the bathroom for you. You can't go.
You have to get an employee to open.
Yes,
the bathroom.
even if you're buying something, you
no,
need.
That's a little weird. I don't know what that's all about.
That's all I'm saying.
But I think they'd be better off with the shoplifting. Seriously,
it would
accepting that loss than the loss of you and me saying, I'm not waiting for the person to unlock the plastic. I just won't get deodorant. I went in the other day and I'm like, I got enough deodorant. I don't need to wait. I didn't feel like waiting, because it takes a while.
Exactly.
Then they kind of unlock it and you're kind of pressured to, it's not a leisurely pick and choose. You better look through the plastic, figure out what you want, then call them. But if you do call them first and you're like, okay, let me see what I want. They're rolling their eyes. They're getting all frustrated, No, it's a crappy. I think the, shoplifting would be a better, situation than locking stuff up. From what I understand, that Walmart on Chapatoulas is one of the, like a Walmart with the most shoplifting, like in the country. One of the highest Walmarts where shoplifting takes place over there on Chapatoulas. I don't think they have stuff hidden, Well, I'll tell you what, I hope I'm never in a store where, and really a woman, but a man comes in and just starts pilfering and puts it in a bag and is running out with it. I mean, more chance than not, I'm going to run and tackle that idiot.
Surely.
And I don't need to do that. I don't need some stupid lawsuit where a criminal's suing me because I hurt their leg when I tackled them in the Walgreens because they were stealing, But I'm telling you, 50+% of me would be like, knock that dude out. Go run and tackle that dude.
Yeah.
Blindside that guy into the wall. Do whatever it takes. Stop this guy from stealing from the store. And that's like at a Walgreens. It's so obnoxious. These people that just go in and you've seen these videos on social media. And then you apply that to like Louis Vuitton or, Ferragamo or Chanel. They'll go into these stores and steal bags that sell for thousands of dollars retail. These are like shopping malls and stuff. They're just storming it like these groups of folks. No, you can't shoot those people if you're a policeman or law enforcement, but damn, you can tase them and you definitely can arrest them. And I think if you're law enforcement, you can physically tackle them. It's obnoxious, but you're going to be outnumbered. You're one cop tackling one person of a dozen. Some of those other idiots might be like, let's beat the crap out of the cop. I mean, you never know. But that shoplifting stuff is from a low level, like it's crushing Walgreens. Profits are down tremendously. And the shelves are like half full in a lot of cases. Sometimes you can't even find what you're looking for at Walgreens. 766-9480 is the number. I'm kind of shocked on this one, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. On this date, 213 years ago, something significant for us locally. I thought Timothy had the best answer. Said the War of 1812, because 213 years ago is 1812. But the Battle of New Orleans, our participation in the War of 1812, the U.S. and the British, was in December of 1814 to January of 1815, the end of the war. As a matter of fact, the war had already ended. The Treaty, I think, of Ghent, if I'm not mistaken, if my LSU history teacher taught me right, or I'm remembering what he taught me correctly, that ended the war. And that was like in October of November of 1814. See if it's the Treaty of Ghent, Mario Brothers. We don't want to be wrong. Ghent, I think. Ghent, maybe.
Ended the War of 1812, yes.
It
the
did?
Treaty of Ghent.
And when was that signed? Like in 1814, right?
December 24th, Christmas Eve
of December 14.
1814, yes.
So, yeah, I mean, we're battle in New Orleans after that was signed. But, there's no pick up the phone and call him. Call Packingham, the admiral, tell him not to invade. There's no telegraph, no telephone. It's like 3 weeks. The battle was over. The British were defeated. And like a few weeks later, we found out the war ended before the battle even took place. 766-9480. That's a good answer, but incorrect. It was 213 years ago on this day, which was 1812. It was April 30th, 1812. Why so significant for us? 766-9480. You got the answer? I got $50 for you. Good at one of the 5 Woodhouse Day Spa locations. The phone number to dial us up, 766-9480. 766-9480. I got a couple of other questions. Mario Brothers, I'm going to have to give the answer to these, I guess, by tomorrow. Why Circle Grocery, Circle Foods on Claiborne and St. Bernard Avenue is known as Circle Grocery? I mentioned earlier, am I telling you the truth? Am I giving the answer? Or am I tricking you? Brenda and Jim Circle, back in the early 20s, the Circle family, they developed the grocery. They got the grocery going under their name. The building's curved. It's got a curved shape in the front. 766-9480. Is that the answer? I'm just trying to throw you off. Tallest hill in New Orleans. 766-9480. You got the answer? I got $50 for you. Good at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, they invented the shrimp peeling machine. Industry standard worldwide. This New Orleans shrimp peeling machine, invented by Latrim in Elmwood. Constantly improving and upgrading the technology, but the shrimp peeling machine that the world covets is made in New Orleans by Latrim. That led to the all-plastic modular conveyor belt. It could be Pepsi, Coke, Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, Ford. Wherever there are conveyor belts, food processors, wherever there are conveyor belts, it's probably an Intralox belt made in New Orleans by Latrim. This is a global manufacturing giant. They're on every continent on the planet. They're number one at what they do, this New Orleans company. The alternating tread stair, the Lapierre stair, just incredible. Over 600-700 worldwide patents. And Latrim continues to grow. That means they're hiring. East Bankers, West Bankers, they've got a place for you in Elmwood. North Shore folks, Latrim has an I-12 facility. They want you. For a full listing of positions available, go to Latrim.com. Latrim is spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com. Corey Johnson with you. Coming right back on a wide open Wednesday. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Hey, tomorrow our annual Humane May fundraiser cranks up, trying to raise $10,000 in the month of May for the Humane Society of Louisiana. Also tomorrow weekend too, a Jazz Fest, 11 a.m., day 5 of 8. Locals Thursday, advanced tickets are $50. I think at the gate they're $60 for locals. Cassie Sherm, WDSU Channel 6 investigative reporter. Boy, the traffic and signal division workers, where they work in New Orleans, out of these trailers, Katrina era. 450 traffic signals to take care of, only 3 employees. Crazy. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
New Orleans talk giant Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
I'll have the entire city of New Orleans in the palm of my hand.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Mother's Day reminder. Hey, guys, it's a week from this Sunday. Mother's Day, a week from Sunday. Don't blow it. Get her what she wants. A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Tomorrow, weekend number 2. Jazz and Heritage Festival in Gentilly. Gates open at 11. Day 5 of 8. We're halfway through. Locals Thursday tomorrow. Less crowds, obviously, than Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And for locals, $50. 60 at the gate, $50 in advance. Hey, speaking of $50, I've got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate, or 3 to give away. On this day, 213 years ago, April 30th, 1812. Why significant to us locally? What's the significance? 213 years ago today, a big day for New Orleanians, for Louisiana folks. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. You got the answer. I got $50 to the Woodhouse for you. Why Circle Grocery, Circle Foods on St. Bernard and Claiborne? Why the name Circle? 766-9480. Tallest hill in New Orleans, in Orleans Parish. Tallest hill in Orleans Parish. 766-9480. Yeah, I was mentioning going into that last break, Cassie Sherm, the WDSU Channel 6 investigative reporter. Just a sickening story. I mean, if you look at this story tonight on Channel 6, the Traffic and Signal Division of New Orleans, where they work out of these trailers off of Doc Francis Parkway, it's embarrassing. They're Katrina era trailers. They're 20 years old. They're supposed to last like a few years. Ceiling falling in, mold, mildew, water leaking in. I mean, it's 20 years later and they're still screwing around these traffic and signal division workers. By the way, there are 3 of them, 3 employees total. They have 450 traffic signals to deal with in New Orleans. So if you wonder why, the other day I posted a video, Claiborne in Louisiana. Wow, the traffic light's blinking, It's because there are 3 employees to handle 450 plus traffic signals. And they work out of pathetic offices, these old double wide trailers that should have been gone 15 years ago, literally. No, it's sinful. It's a joke. It's a joke. Check it out on Channel 6. Hey, Ed Michel, Office of Inspector General, the IG, joined us in the 4 o'clock hour for a good 30 minutes. You can check that out in a few minutes on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with me, Corey Johnson, on YouTube. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. Yeah, a good 30 minutes with Ed Michel. His latest report was on safety and permits. It's amazing. They apparently did not learn anything from the Hard Rock Casino Hotel collapse. They third-party inspectors are supposed to be like the outlier. Like, boy, we got swamped with a bunch of permit requests. We better bring in some third-party inspectors to help us get through this. Instead, about 70% of all city inspections are done by third-party inspectors. And they didn't follow the rules or did not know about the rules, like photographs of everything that you're inspecting, photograph of you at the site of the inspection with your license, valid license in the photograph. So none of that was done. The permitting department just green lighting what the, third-party inspectors were saying. And a lot of these third-party inspectors could, if you've got a building and it's not up to par, you hire your buddy who you know is a third-party inspector, you pay him a little money and he green lights it for you. And then the city's green lighting it. So the one positive about all of this in safety and permits, the director of safety and permits, unlike, say, the sheriff, you remember Susan Hudson after a couple of IG reports taking offense at Ed Michel, bringing up all kind of BS accusations. Now, if you remember, Susan Hudson had hired an employee that Ed Michel legally fired for theft. Was it Kristen Morales? That was Susan Hudson's former roommate, their friends, their pals. There might have even been some type of relationship with them. I don't care about any of that crap. I don't care about the mayor and Vappy unless it's dealing with me and taxpayer money. No, he hires this woman who was fired from the IG's office for theft, and she makes 6 figures. So, yeah, there's animosity towards the IG, even when he's right. So Susan Hudson's a bad example of, someone who would embrace the recommendations of fixing the problem. But the director of safety and permits, Tammy Jackson, is embracing Ed Michel in the Inspector General's office report. I agree with your findings. These are legitimate problems, and we love your solutions. We're going to implement them. Ed Michel actually has employees of his office. I think he said he has 28 employees now. Some are embedded. They're there every day at safety and permits, making sure these changes are getting implemented. And you got to give Tammy Jackson, the director, credit for embracing it, where someone like Susan Hudson doesn't embrace it. No, thank God for Inspector General Ed Michel, Raphael going at you with the Metropolitan Crime Commission, Cassie Sherm, investigative reporter, David Hammer, Travers Mackle, Lee Zirk. Thank God for these folks. These are watchdogs in the media or nonprofits outside of city government that are doing the job for us, because this is New Orleans and Louisiana. You're going to simply trust the elected officials? What's that, Blue Boy? I'm only a basset hound, but it would be ridiculous based off of past knowledge, right, buddy, to trust New Orleans and Louisiana elected officials. You're so right, Blue Boy. It's amazing. Based off of past knowledge, you'd be a fool to do it. Brilliant, Blue Boy. Hey, see you tomorrow right here, 4 o'clock.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333.